Two men were given the same plot of land and the same number of days to build a house. The first man thought, if I work without stopping, I'll finish sooner and live in comfort faster. So he worked from sunrise to midnight, skipped meals, ignored his aching back, and drank bitter water just to keep going. His house went up quickly, but so did the cracks in his walls and so did the cracks in his health. Before long, he was too sick to even finish the roof. The second man worked with a different rhythm. He set his tools down at sunset. He ate good food, walked among the trees, stretched his body, and rested when he was weary. At first, he built slower. People laughed, saying, "You'll never finish in time." But he lived strong. His hands stayed steady. His mind stayed sharp. And when the years passed, his house stood tall, finished and beautiful, while the other man's was abandoned, half built. One had rushed and burned out. The other slowed down and in the end got far more done. In this video, I want to go over 5 kingdom keys to add years to your life. And these are scientifically backed. If you do these things, you're guaranteed to add 5 to 10 plus years to your life. It sounds a little bit counterintuitive, like a paradox. How are we going to slow down but speed up? And so what if I told you that the way that you're living currently is speeding up your death clock? Most people are trying to squeeze as much as possible into their 24 hours that they're losing decades in the process. They don't even realize it. Jesus didn't live in burnout mode. He got done in 3 years what we can't even get done in a lifetime. So let's learn from him. Short-term speed often leads to long-term loss. But if you guard your health, you guard your rest and your joy, you can add years to your life that others won't have. Years of productivity, years of purpose, years that the rushed will never see. So we got to slow down now so we can run further later. So this morning, as I was walking outside in the forest, taking my daily 4 showers, I was thinking, because I always get to comparing myself. And part of the reason is because I live this sped up life. I want my followers. I want my money. I want my businesses. I want my book out. I want all of this stuff fast now. And it's because of what the world is telling me. But then when I was in this walk, I was reflecting. I was breathing the fresh air. I was hearing the birds chirp. I was looking at the patterns of the trees. I was looking at the sun. I was looking at the birds. And everything that I've been learning the past 4 years. The rejuvenation process that I've been going through. And I was thinking, these people that have what I want now don't have this that I have. They don't have this knowledge that is going to give them so many more years. I've lived so sped up, comparing myself, and then judging and getting on myself for not being at a certain place. I tell God, I work hard. I work smart. I do all the stuff. It seems like there's no progress. But God's timing is perfect. He makes everything beautiful in his time. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." God's design has rhythm. If we break them, we break ourselves. And look at what Jesus says about rest. Matthew 11:28-30. "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. My yoke is easy and my burden is light." This shows that rest is part of kingdom productivity. Rest is not laziness. Conscious rest is productivity. Another paradox. How can that be? How can you possibly be productive when you rest? God rested on the seventh day. This law he commanded in the Ten Commandments. He said, keep the Sabbath day. This is simply for our health, for our mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. We're meant to rest at least one day without doing hard work. This protects us, this preserves us. Rest is when the body heals. When we sleep, the body heals, detoxes. When we rest, the muscle builds. When we rest, it's simply just a health law God put in place so we wouldn't burn out and die young. You take person A who works 80 hours a week, trying to feed his family in survival mode. He has to pay the bills. He's got to work. He burns out at 50 and his health is completely gone and he can't be there for his kids, for his wife, for his friends. He can't even go to work. Then you have person B who works with God's rhythm. He's honoring his temple. 1 Corinthians 6, 19, 20. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Honor God with your body. Caring for your health is not optional. It's stewardship. So you got person B, works with God's rhythm, lives strong, 80 plus, and impacts generations. These two people had the same 24 hours, yet one lived 30 years more and more fruitful, higher quality years to advance God's kingdom. There's so many examples in the Bible of God waiting at the perfect moment. Look at Abraham, clear example. God waited till he was 100 years old to have his first kid with his wife, Sarah. Look at Moses. Moses, when he fled out of Egypt, he was at least in his 30s. When God used him and raised him up, those years, God was building him up. Jesus started his ministry at 30. That's when he changed the world. I'm living to 200 years old. At least. And so imagine someone right now that has millions of followers, that's making millions of dollars, that has her dream house, dream car. 70, 80, they're gone. And I'm still going up. My health is still there. This mindset, which is not really a mindset, this is just how we ought to function. The people back then in Genesis, before, even after the fall, they were living hundreds and hundreds of years. That's the potential of the human body. What do you think? A perfect God created humans to live 70, 80 years? Our potential is so much greater than how we live today. And I get it. It's a cursed world. It's going to be hard. Unexpected things are going to happen. Even if I die at 50 years, at 50 years old, my biological age is going to be 20, 30. I'm going to look like I'm 30. I'm planning to live 200. So whenever I go, I know that where I'm at, I'm operating at full potential. So we're going to go over these 5 steps that I'm implementing that will give you 5 to 10 high functioning years of your life. So number 1, we've gone over rest. Rest like it's a commandment. At least one day weekly of no heavy work. Doesn't mean slack off. No, we're not to be part of the world. This Sabbath is meant to just surrender to God. No heavy working, no work emails, slow meals, time in prayer and worship, light walks, reunion with your family and friends. Number 2, eat food that gives you life, not sucks life out of you. Look at Daniel. Daniel chapter 1, verse 12. He decided not to eat the king's meat and stick to his plant-based whole food diet. He ate vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, and he outperformed everyone exponentially, all the meat eaters. He was wiser, he was smarter, he was more concentrated. His cognitive function was at such a high level, his memory, his physical strength, his spiritual presence. So practical approaches: start eating more whole plant-based foods. 80% of what you eat should be plant-based, should be vegetables, should be fruits, should be everything that grows from the ground. That is God's food. Hydrate deeply. Most of our hunger is really hydration, but we've been conditioned to think, oh, that's hunger. You need to eat. Real hunger starts after 40 days of no eating. Anytime before that, you're just thirsty, or it's your parasites wanting to eat, not you. Avoid constant sugar and processed snacks. This will save you so many years. Stop eating table sugar, man-made drugs. Sugar is a drug. It's addictive. It gives you a high, a sugar spike. Avoid this as much as possible and try to reduce your intake of meat. The CDC, the American Institute of Cancer Research, the World Health Organization all agree that we should avoid processed meats altogether. They're level 1 carcinogenics in the same category as smoking. And then the other meats are level 2A carcinogenic. So 18% higher risk of colorectal cancer and really every other cancer. And they say limit 12 to 18 ounces of meat per week. Straight from them, the so-called health companies, institutes. Number 3, move daily. The temple needs maintenance. The temple had daily upkeep, and your body needs daily movement. Your cells need movement. Your blood, your lymph system activates. Your main sewer system activates through movement. We need movement, and especially movement outside, movement connected to the earth, grounding, sunning, breathing the fresh air, hearing the frequencies of nature, looking at the colors, reality. Your body loves this. Your brain is wired to look at this stuff. It needs it. Studies show that walking outside boosts your creativity by 50%. They boost your cognitive function. They boost your memory. The electrons in the air, especially in forests and mountains and beaches, this rejuvenates us. This is pure O2. So practically 30, 60 minutes of walking or stretching or strength training, just moving your body daily, even if it's light. If we don't move, our cells become stiff. But when we move and exercise, our cells become more flexible and elastic. Our blood begins to flow better. We're able to eliminate better. The 4th step, guard your peace like a fortress. We got to live in peace and joy and harmony and humility and gentleness and goodness and kindness and love. Proverbs 4:23, guard your heart. So we got to limit toxic news, limit gossiping, stay out of draining arguments, set boundaries at work with your friends when you go out, daily scripture meditation. This resets the vagus nerve, which helps us stay calm and peaceful and awake. Number 5 is invest in relationships that give life. Weekly family dinners, church fellowship, talk or get a mentor, make new friends who encourage your calling, who will lift you up. If you burn out in 20 years, the kingdom will lose decades of influence. Jesus came that you might have life and life abundantly. Steward your years so you can give him more years of service. In John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. That's powerful because most of us aren't living to the fullest. Deep down, we know that. I sure wasn't, but Jesus took me, transformed me, and showed me. I didn't come so you can survive. I didn't come so you can just exist. I came so that you can have life and a life to your full potential. And so these last 4 years have been amazing. Completely renovating my mind, and there's still a lot to go. But I'm just so glad at who I am now, where I'm going, because I know God has something big for me. And so I'm trusting in his timing, learning, growing, refining my gift. If this video has helped you in any way, subscribe, like the video, share this, and comment. My time is coming. I'm deciding to live in full potential starting today. Take it in. Pray. Ask God to show you what's my full potential. Help me. See y'all tomorrow.